Hey guys, so it's been some time since I've done a video, probably almost 3 weeks now. Oh, wow, what a time we are in. Yes, I'm wearing the Team 137 Mitch Sanders t-shirt. I'm sure you're going to comment and troll me on that, so good for you. What a wild ride the last few weeks has been. So a number of you have been watching my videos for some time will remember I did a video on the front of the weight setter in Windsor River, and it was 2 days before BitcoinCash went from $400 to $1,280 Australian. And yeah, it was literally 2 days before. I predicted that based on what I was seeing fundamentally in the marketplace, and I thought that October was going to bring, like, end of October was actually going to bring in a lot of changes and a lot of movement for the coin, and it didn't. And a couple of days before the Segwit 2X fork went live, like I think the 8th or the 9th, I was starting to talk about some of the chatter that I was seeing that was around, and I expected some movements to happen, but the movements I expected weren't even close to what actually happened. I thought we were going to maybe go to 2,000 Australian dollars. We ended up going to 3,200. I think the peak was 2,800 US, or 27.99 from looking at the charts, which is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It was only 3 months ago that I was talking about this coin and the potential, and I've copped a lot of flack and a lot of hate, and people calling it Bitcoin crash and Bitcoin trash and shitcoin and everything in between. And I mean, good for you. Like, it is, I can definitely see why you're not a fan of it if you've been around Bitcoin for as long as I have, or actually much longer than I have, I should say, because I first found out about Bitcoin in 2013 and didn't revisit it until February, March this year, 2017. So I understand why you want to hate on it and why you look upon it as something that shouldn't be here. But I also hope that you've gone and done your research and you're not like focusing 100% on your cognitive bias, and you can see that Bitcoin Cash has the intention of what Satoshi's white paper originally outlined, whereas the current Bitcoin with Segwit and with all the changes, and for those of you who don't know, Blockstream, the development company that controls Bitcoin, or Bitcoin Core, is owned by a big insurance giant in France called AXA, which is that insurance giant. I think on the board, or one of the directors, is one of the directors of the Bilderberg Group, which is another big bank in Europe that does a lot of really shady stuff. So they don't have the best interests at heart of the people. They don't actually care about us, and yeah, they're just doing whatever they think they can to slow transactions down and to pump the fees up. At the moment, it can take between 2 hours and 12 hours to send Bitcoin from one person to another, which is far, far from what it was originally created for. And it costs $8 to send $1. So if you want to pay for a coffee, for example, you can't, because you're literally spending almost $10 to be able to buy a single coffee, which, it's $4 or $5 here in Australia, but in other countries it's probably $2 or $3. So that's not really sustainable. Whereas you can send $1 via Bitcoin Cash and it costs you pennies, or you can send $1 million and it still costs you pennies. Like, the fees are very, very low and it's very, very fast. So anyway, we're in an amazing time right now. And I went to the Be Invested Christmas party last night. Nathan Birch held that. Hey Nath, love your work, love what you're doing. And he raised such a good point that we're in a time when inflation is high, debt is high, wages are low, and if anything, wages are going backwards. So you've got your average person that is on, $28,000, $30,000 a year, that lives out of home, that has to pay for food and has to pay all their bills, and at the end of the day, they're left with $1 a week to save, or they're going backwards because they're using credit cards. And that's the common theme. And that's probably from a speculatory standpoint, that's the biggest thing that excites me about crypto. I have the ability to share with my friends who are very, very good at what they do, but majority of them are laborers or they're specialists in their own field, and they've got a cap on their earning potential. And they want to make more money. They want to see the world. They want to have nice things. They want to drive nice cars, but they don't understand, or they don't have the ability in their choice of work to be able to go further, to be able to grow, because the money's just not there. There's a ceiling on what they can earn. And you come back to the example of the guy that's on 30 grand a year. And I actually have a friend who is on 30 grand a year, who is part of the Facebook group. He's also one of my paid members, and he's turned a couple of grand into $15,000. And that's literally it's exactly half of his yearly wage he did in about 2 months from a $2,000 investment. So when you start to look at the opportunity that we have here, and I want to make this really, really clear, this video is not about me trying to tell you to buy my newsletter or buy any of my products. This is purely about the opportunity of what we have right now. The average person that is literally saving $100 a year or $50 a year, they're saving $1 a week, has the ability to put that into various different coins that can go up 100 times or even 1,000 times in the market that we're in right now. And that has never been possible before, like ever. You constantly see stories of people getting into Bitcoin when it was $7 or $10 and holding for dear life. I mean, I take my hat off to them to go from spending $7 or $10 to that going to 1,000. You've got to be holding pretty damn hard to not want to cash out then. And then from $1,000 to 2,000, and 2,000 to 5,000, and 5,000 to 10,000. That's the time right now. Phone's ringing. That's the time that we're in right now, where the average person has the ability to invest a very small amount of money and to be able to make a large amount from it, giving back the power of the financial power back to the people. And that's what gets me really passionate. That's what gets me excited about this marketplace. I was having breakfast with my girlfriend, and I said, I've taught a lot of programs. I've taught a lot of training courses around internet marketing over the years. I've taught a lot of different ad courses and how to buy media and how to run ads to affiliate offers and how to make money and do all of that kind of stuff. And I've had probably 50 or 60,000 training customers come through my programs or courses worldwide. And the biggest problem that I've always found is only about 10% implement everything that I'm doing. Or everything I'm teaching, I should say. So the 10%, 5,000 people out of 50,000 implemented to the T what I've taught and been successful with it and made money with it. But the other 90% haven't done anything. They haven't taken action. They haven't actually let themselves move out of the way so they can do what they want to do, which is, fire their boss or make money or make a little bit extra money to cover their bills, or be able to take that holiday that they've been wanting or longing for years, or to be able to buy that nice new car. And they can't even get out of their own way. And I was talking to my girlfriend this morning, and I just came to the conclusion that this market is the first market that I've ever been in where the simplest strategy, the strategy that takes zero thinking, is the one strategy that works the best, and anything else, you tend to lose your money, or you tend to make losses. And that strategy is to buy something and hold it and do nothing else. Literally, the people that are the most unintelligent that buy crypto are the ones that are making the most money. And I don't say that to be condescending. I say that because they know that they don't know how to trade, and they know how they don't know how to sell high and buy low. So they don't even try. They just leave it there. Whereas you've got your smart people that are like, oh, I can predict, patterns. I know what the market's doing. I've been around this for 10 minutes. I'm going to sell here and then wait for it to go down and then buy again. And it ends up going up and they get scared, so they buy high and then it goes back down and they sell and they've actually had a double loss. So coming back to my point, the first time ever this industry is allowing people to be so simple-minded and to be able to do very little, next to nothing, and be able to make money from it. And that is just phenomenal. And it allows those people, like that friend of mine that's on 30 grand a year, who put $2,000 in and turned it into 15 in a couple of months. He's now looking at putting a deposit on a house. He's got 2 kids or maybe 3 kids. And he's literally in 3 months, on top of his income, he's been able to almost put a deposit on a house for his family to live in. That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's giving the power back to the people. It's giving the everyday person the ability to rise up and be one of the wealthy people in the world. And there's stories like this everywhere. There's a guy in Melbourne that is a personal trainer, and he bought Ethereum at $10, which I did as well. I only bought a very small amount, but yeah, I bought some at $10 as well. Bought Ethereum at $10. I think he got 500 or 1,000 or something, and he's like 22 years old. And now he's no longer working as a personal trainer. He's bought a house and he's actually enjoying his life. Because life is more than just working. Life is about experiencing and learning and finding new things you like and enjoy. The whole indoctrination camps, as Nathan put it last night, of for 12 years. Go to the indoctrination camps for 12 years and then commit to 40 years of your life, just throw that away, and then retire on half the money you actually need to enjoy yourself. That is a lie. It's not real. And we have, I know I'm going into some pretty deep stuff here, but we have the ability with this market, and I'm not talking about the MLM things out there where, you know, you refer 18 people to the BitConnects and the USI techs. I'm not talking about any of this. Like, this video is 100% free, and I'm not trying to sell anything. What I'm telling you is you go and spread your money, find out how much you can afford to lose, or the amount of money you can risk, and then spread that over some coins, and then don't touch it. You don't need to have someone refer you to, you know, this company and then refer all these people and earn all of this money from that. And most of those I don't believe in, and I think are absolute Ponzi schemes. You don't need to do any of that. You need to figure out one thing, which is find out how much money you can afford to lose. And this normally the 3 things that I get people to think about, because the majority of people that I talk to, I don't really have any money to invest. The 3 things that I find are: do you drink coffee? Yes. Do you drink alcohol? Yes. Do you play the poker machines or the pokies? Yes. Just quit those for 1 month and put that money into crypto, and then just leave it, don't touch it. And come back in a year's time and see where it's at. It's that simple. It's really, really that simple. So this video is instead of a short little catch up, you can start to see I'm getting very, very passionate about this, and it's all coming at the right time. The last 3 or 4 weeks have been hectic, to say the least. I just finished a juice fast yesterday, so I'm feeling amazing. And I ended up doing a 5-day juice fast because we're coming into the launch of the exchange on the 23rd. We're doing a soft launch. So if you're interested in testing out the exchange, there will be some bugs and stuff like that we'll ask you to report to us. But yeah, if you're interested, send me an email. It's mitch@printingmoney.com, and I'll be able to put you on the waiting list. But I'm excited because we are bringing an exchange to the market where you or anyone has the ability to sign up, buy some crypto, hold it, and be able to get some incredible gains like I've been talking about in this video. And anyone does. You don't need a large amount of money to get started. You don't need a huge bankroll. You don't need to start trading. You don't need to learn a bunch of stuff. You don't need to really do anything. You need to work out what you can afford to lose, put that into an exchange, buy some crypto, spread it across multiple coins so you're spreading your risk, and just leave it. Don't touch it. And come back in 3 months' time, or 6 months' time, or 12 months' time. Because that's the time we're in right now. It's we're We're less than 1% adoption rate, and that means that 1% of the world's population have used or are using Bitcoin or any other alternative currencies. And it's only growing from here. The more people I speak to, the more I see this kind of starting to integrate with people's lives. So this has been a really interesting video. I think because I haven't done one for ages, I've kind of jumped all over the place, and I've talked about a lot of different topics. But the one thing that I want you to take away from this is that we are in a time, you are not too late. You're at the perfect time. You haven't missed the boat. You haven't missed anything. It's so new. It's so exciting. It's so new, and the opportunities you have right now are the same that people had years ago. Everything is kind of in a new reset cycle. Like looking at buying Bitcoin Cash at the $400 mark, which I was telling people for almost 3 months, and then seeing it go to the $3,000+ mark, and I'm talking Australian dollars here, just shows the time that we're in. Like a lot of people would ask me, and I'm like starting to get back into it. This video is already too long, so yeah, as I said before, we're in exciting times. We're very, very, very much in exciting times. So as always, like, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, please post them below. And yeah, I apologize that it's been a little while since I've done a video, but I'm sure you can imagine getting an exchange off the ground from a legal standpoint, from a banking standpoint, from a regulatory standpoint. It is very hard and it takes a lot of time. So that's it for me. If you did like this video, please let me know, and I will it will inspire me to keep creating them. And hopefully between now and next time I speak to you, there won't be very much of a doubt. Thanks guys, I'll see you then. I'll see you soon.